Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Monica with MShaunPlans, and I know I have not done a currently inked in forever. Well, I am here to do one today, and as you can see, it is for March and April. I just have not been rotating out my pens lately. I've just been trying to write them dry. Some of them do still have a significantly amount of ink in them, and it is my plan to write until those become dry. I am doing this in my campus notebook by Kikuyo that I did end up getting from Barnes & Noble on my Planner Friends outing, because I want to see how well this paper holds ink. And this is grid, and this notebook only has 40 pages. I did figure that out. It's 40 pages, and it's 5mm grid, which is good for my handwriting because my handwriting is huge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started, and these are all my pens. I will leave a link to the Etsy shop where I got my pen case from. I love this pen case. So my first pen is my TWSBI Diamond 580 in navy. I have been loving this pen. This pen has really done me well, and I currently have it inked with Robert Oster's Summer Storm. So like I said, I've been enjoying this ink for long form journaling. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a piece of notebook paper here, and I love the fact that it's light, but it's also legible. So I'm just gonna take my muddler here. I'm surprised it actually fit, and then I'm just going to, but again, I'm doing it in this because I want to see how this paper reacts to ink. Like we're always doing it on Tomoe River paper, but I want to know how it does with Kikuyo paper. And this is my TWSBI Diamond 580. I knew I was going to do that. And this is the aluminum version, and this is a fine nib, and this is in navy. And this is Robert Oster. Summer Storm. I have been loving writing with this. I love the shape of the nib, like a regular, I don't know, it's kind of more flared than a regular TWSBI nib, and I've been enjoying that. This little step right here, it does not hurt, although you can hear it. I don't feel it at all, so that is a plus. Okay, hopefully you all can see that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rate the pen, the ink, and then the comfort level. And we're gonna go from 1 being the lowest end to 10 being the highest. So the pen, because I really love this pen, I'm just gonna give it a 9.5. The ink, again, I have been really enjoying this ink, writing with it, looking at the different shades that it makes. So I'm gonna also give this a 9.5. And then the comfort of the pen, I'm just gonna give a 10, because like I said, I love writing with this pen. So that is my first currently inked. So my next pen is no stranger to my channel. This is the Esterbrook Esty in Corky Leaf. If you know me, I love green. I love all things green. So this pen was right up my alley, and I've actually had this pen inked with pen filled with this ink for quite a while. This is actually going to be my second time refilling this pen with this particular ink, and it is Diamine Sugar Snap. Now, I did end up purchasing a bottle of the full-size bottle of Sugar Snap, and again, I love green. It is what it is. So let's hope. Okay, my muddler does not fit, but we'll make it work. Hopefully I got some shimmer, because this is a shimmer ink. Again, I'm doing it in this notebook because I want to see how well this paper reacts to fountain pen ink. And I'm just gonna put the cap back on because I'm clumsy. And Esterbrook is no stranger to my channel. I love an Esty. I want everyone in every colorway, but I know it's not feasible. I'm actually waiting for the Coffee Monster Co. collab to come back in stock, and I'm gonna grab it. So this is the Esterbrook Esty. And Corky Leaf. It does have a fine nib, and it is inked with Diamine Sugar Snap. And this is from the 2023 ink event, I believe. I will say writing on this paper is very nice. Very, very nice. So we're gonna rate the pen, the ink, and the comfort level. The pen, classic SD, so of course I give it a 10. The ink, love green, love shimmer, hey, I'm gonna give it a 10. And then the comfort level, again, it's an SD. So we got 10s all across the board. So this is, and I will say this before I go on to my next pen, I love the fact that it has this push cushion so the ink will not dry out. And that's with all SDs. So if you're looking for a pen that will not, your ink will not dry out in, this is a good one. And that is my Esterbrook SD in Corky Leaf. My next pen is also an Esterbrook SD, and this is in Blue Moon. The difference between the previous SD and this one is that this SD has the push cap feel with it. So you have to unscrew the back finial in order to access the button feel, or the button for the feel. And then also you get this wonderful ink window. Now you can cap it, but it just makes the SD a little bit longer than normal. So I normally don't cap this one. And I have it filled with Kobe ink number 13 in Nuboki Emerald. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And I first showcased this ink in my Kobe ink haul. So this ink is kind of a nod to Lau, because he loves a teal ink. So we're just gonna swatch it here, and I must say I have been enjoying this ink. Very, very pretty. And again, this is the Esterbrook SD. In Blue Moon. And this is a fine nib. And this is Kobe number 13. Noon Obuki, I don't know. Emerald. And this ink is so pretty. I absolutely love it. It gives me a blue without being too blue. It gives me a green without being too green. So it's kind of like that perfect in between. And then the pen, of course, it is an Esty. We're gonna give it a 10. The ink flows quite well. It writes well. I'm loving it. So we're gonna give it a 10. And then of course the comfort level, because it is an Esty, I'm gonna give that a 10 as well. So this is my Esterbrook Esty in Blue Moon. My next pen and ink pairing is my TWSBI Eco in Irish Green. Now, again, just like an Esty, I love a TWSBI Eco. When I say I love a TWSBI Eco, we go together like cereal and milk, peanut butter and jelly, okay? That's how bad we go together. So this is the Irish Green and Onyx. And I have this paired with Diamine Best Wishes, which, if I'm not mistaken, this is also a 2023 ink vent. So I'm just gonna shake this up a little bit. And again, if you know me, you know I love a good green, so this is right up my alley. I'm just gonna coat the base of that so I can do this. Oh, again, I love a good green. If you know, you know. And I'm loving writing with like the coated nibs from a TWSBI, because for some reason it makes it that much smoother to write with. So this is my TWSBI Eco in Irish Green and Onyx, and this is a fine nib, and this is Diamine Best Wishes. I'm just gonna make my little swirlies and curlies and lines and whatnot. And then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna rate it pen, ink, comfort. Again, it is a TWSBI. It is a TWSBI Eco. Love, okay? So this is a 10. The ink, I did have a few flow issues, but I'm gonna chalk that up to this being a fine nib. But overall, I've not had any issues with Diamine inks, so I'm gonna give it an 8. And then of course the comfort level, I'm gonna give a 10. Why did I put that? Jesus. I'm gonna give it a 10. So this is my TWSBI Eco and Onyx. TWSBI, okay. And this is my TWSBI Irish Green and Onyx. My next pen and ink pairing is my Pilot Kakuno Mataromi series, and this is the brown. Ooh, I'm so excited about this. I absolutely love this pen so much. I got everyone in the entire series. I got some in the medium and some in the fine. This is a fine. I love the fact that the nib has a smiley face and it is gold, which is this particular series have gold nibs. It's not like a 14 karat gold nib, it is a gold steel nib. Still, nonetheless, Love that touch, love that touch. And I decided to pair this with Herbon's Cacao do Brazil. I thought these paired together perfectly. So, and I just have the 10-ounce sample, and I've had this for a while. Oh my gosh. So I'm definitely trying to use the inks that I have before I have some more. And if you watched my last video, you know I got a bunch of inks from my pen friends. So I definitely won't be buying any inks anytime soon unless it's one that I must have. So, and this is my Pilot Kakuno. And this is the Matarome series. And this is in brown. It has a fine nib. And this is Herbon's Cacao do Brazil. And this ink is so pretty. Again, I knew this was a great pairing. Like color to pen match, if you get what I'm saying. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna rate the pen, the ink, and then the comfort level. The pen, I'm gonna give a 9. Yeah, I'm gonna give a 9. The ink, I'm gonna give an 8.5 because there were times where I don't know if it's the ink, maybe I've had it too long, I'm not real sure, but there was a little bit of flow issues. And then this pen is really comfortable to write with, so I'm gonna give this a 9.5. And I know my swatches are like zigzag, but it's okay. It is okay. And this is my Pilot Kakuno Matarome in brown. Yes, I have another SD, and this is my Estabrook SD in tortoise. I've had this for a number of years now. This is kind of almost what started me on my SD journey. The first SD I bought was, this one, my Petrified Forest, my oversized Petrified Forest. So that was the first SD that I bought. So, and then it was like all downhill from there. So I have this currently inked with Pelikan Edelstein's Moonstone. This is a gray ink, kind of like a soft lead pencil feel to it is what I get from it. And if you get what I'm talking about, you know the difference between soft lead and hard lead pencils, and that's what it gives me, is that soft lead pencil. Oh, okay. That soft lead pencil feel. And that's what I think about when I write with this ink, is a soft lead pencil. And I'm gonna put the cap back on that because, again, I'm clumsy. And this is my Estabrook SD. And this is in the tortoise. This is a fine nib. And this is Pelikan Edelstein. Moonstone. Now I have found this ink to be a little bit drier than I normally like to write with. So of course we're going to give the pen a 10 because it is an Estabrook. The ink, I'm going to give a 7. Again, it's because I found it drier than most of my inks. All of my inks have been wet. And then the comfort level, again, it's an SD, is a 10. But again, this ink gets a 7 because it is quite dry. Very dry. To me, it is. So that's just me. So somebody may like a more drier ink. I don't. And maybe it's because I have it in a fine nib. That could very well be the case. Who knows? But I'm still going to keep my ink. I'm still going to use it. I'm just going to try it out with different pen nibs. So this is my Esterbrook SD in Tortoise. So my next pen and ink pairing is my Opus 88 Mini and Elegant Handwriting. I actually love this pen. I actually tried to get rid of it one time and then I couldn't. So I was like, well, let me give it another chance. And I have fallen in love with this pen. I truly have. And as you can see, the ink in here is bright orange. So this is Birmingham Pen Company's Tiger Lily. And when I say these two go together like a hand in glove, yes, they do. They go together real bad, real bad. I like Birmingham Pen Company inks. A little bit about Birmingham Pen Company. They are ran by two brothers. They mix all of their inks themselves. And they want to make sure that the formula is perfect. So if you order an ink and there is a, sorry, my camera cut off, but if you order an ink and there is a delay and they email you and say, hey, we can't ship this ink because the formula isn't right, is because they really want that formula to be top notch and correct. They take pride in all of their inks. And I'm not just saying that. I truly mean that. They want their inks to be perfect. And that's what they strive for. They strive for that perfection in their inks. So if something is just not right, they're not just going to send you an ink and then you get it and it doesn't perform up to the standard that they have already set. They will say, we can't ship this ink because quality is not there. The quality is not there. And that's what I admire about them. Yes, it may take a little time for you to get your inks, but know when you get them, they will be perfect. So again, I have this inked in my Opus 88 Mini in handwriting. You can post it, but as you saw, it doesn't post really securely, so it may pop off. So this is my Opus. Ooh, that feedback. Love it. And handwriting. And this has a medium nib. And this is, and I'm just going to abbreviate, Tiger Lily. And when I say like, their stuff comes well packaged, like the bottles are wrapped individually. I was using the tissue wrap that they had these wrapped in as like a blotting paper where I could wipe off my nibs and stuff. See, look, it didn't post secure. And I'm also shaking violently. So let's go ahead and grade. So we have the pen, the ink, and then the comfort level. I'm having a hard time saying that today. The pen, I'm gonna give an 8. I thought the Mini was for me. It's right on the borderline of no way and oh, I kind of like it. It's kind of right there. So that's why I'm giving it an 8. The ink, I'm gonna give a 9. It is bright. I love writing with it. I'm not seeing the green shift in the ink, which is kind of disappointing, but it's okay. And then the comfort level, I'm going to give an 8 as well, just because my hands are bigger than the average hand, and I feel like I have to grip this pen a little tight. But again, I like the pen. I'm going to keep it in my collection for now. But yeah, I don't think I'll be buying too many mini pens. Now, the one thing I do love about this pen, it has a its ink capacity. It's there. You can hold a lot. That's about 2 meals, maybe 2.5. So yeah, that's the one thing I do like about it. So if you were looking to keep this for a while or use this for long form journaling, this is great. The only thing is, it is a eyedropper feel. And if it does run dry and you still have ink, all you have to do is twist the back, and that opens up the valve down here at the bottom to allow ink to flow to the feed. Goodness gracious, girl. And then all you do is just twist it back up until it writes dry again. So that is also the wonderful thing about this. And I heard that eyedroppers are really good to travel with. So I haven't had the pleasure of doing that, and I know I'm rambling on and on, but those are the specs that I wanted to give you about this pen and about eyedropper pens. So yeah. This is my Opus 88 in handwriting. All right, you guys, we got a couple more. The next pen I have is the Kaweco Sport. Now, for some reason, I like this pen. I love a good Kaweco Sport. And this is in the colorway of mint. This pen, love writing with. I don't know, maybe it's because I can post it and it posts securely, so I'm not having to worry about the cap flying off like I did in my previous pen, but I love a good Kaweco Sport. And I currently have this inked with Robert Oster's Gracie's. And I know you guys are like, gosh, you have a lot of Robert Oster and Diamine inks. Yeah, I know. That's because I like them. So gonna swatch this. I love this blue. Reminds me like of the ocean. Like an ocean blue. Very pretty. So again, I've had these samples for a while, so I'm really trying to go through some of my inks. That's why you'll see like inks that I've had before, or that inks that I'm using again, because I really want to focus on using what I have. So this is my Kaweco Sport. And this is in mint. And this is a fine nib. And this is Robert Oster's. Gracie's. And I will say that this ink, it's not wet, but it's not dry either. So this made for a very good writing experience. So the pen, I'm gonna give an 8 because it is a mini. But again, I like this pen. I really do. I really, really do. The ink, I'm gonna give an 8.5. Again, it's not wet. It's not dry. It's kind of that little happy medium right there. And then the comfort level, I'm going to give an 8. And that's only because I feel like I have to grip it just a little bit tighter to hold on to it because it is so small. But that does not take away from the performance of the pen. I actually like this pen. So this is my Kaweco Sport in mint. I have another Kaweco Sport. And this is my Kaweco Sport in green. Again, if you know me, you know I love green. And I have this ink with Diamine's Serendipity. And I thought I pulled it out, but I didn't. So I'm going to grab my box here where I keep all of my inks. And there is Serendipity right there. I'm not sure which ink vent this is from, but I do have the ink vent sample. Again, it's a Kaweco Sport. Those are good travel pens. And if I lose it, I'm hurt, but I'm not like Oh my God, I lost my Esty. No, I'm not that hurt. And then Serendipity is this beautiful, beautiful, deep, rich, greenish, bluish teal ink. Oh my gosh. I love this ink, and it has like a red shimmer, I think. Let me look. Like a bluish green shimmer at the bottom, or in the ink rather. And this is my Kaweco Sport. And this is in green. And this is a medium nib. Now, medium is usually the nib I prefer to write with, but in certain pens or with certain nibs, I can write with a fine, and then some I can write with a medium. So that's why you see the switch up between medium and fine. And this is Diamond's Serendipity. Now, I can write with this pen all day long. Like, I really can. Like, it's not an issue for me. And I know that's contrary to my Opus 88, but it's something about the Kaweco Sport that I really, really like. So again, I'm going to give the comfort level an 8. The ink, I'm definitely going to give a 9. Definitely gonna give it a 9. Again, it's a diamond ink. It's wet. I love it. And then the comfort level, I'm gonna give an 8. So that is that. And this is my Kaweco Sport in green. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the very first Kaweco Sport I ever bought. Fun fact. All right, I have one more ink for you, and this is my Platinum Plazar in blue. I saw this on Atlas's website. I was like, oh, this is an interesting pen. And when I got it, it's kind of like that slick metal, which I have to hold on and grip, but it's okay. It is okay. But it has that classic platinum nib that you know is going to write well. Now, it comes with a cartridge, but I ended up using a platinum converter. So, and I just think I purchased that converter off Amazon, or I had it already. I don't remember. But you can't get it from Amazon. I think you can get it from Atlas. Yeah, so if you click below and you use my link, I do get a kickback from it. That's just to help support my channel. So, yeah. And I'm just switching my card to the other side. And we're gonna see how good this paper has done with my swatching. So I have this actually inked with Waterman's Serenity Blue. Okay, this is the ink that I dip test all of my pens in, and I was just doing it straight in the jar, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get a separate vial. I can't open it right now, y'all. There we go. I'm gonna just put some in a separate vial and put dip test on it, so that way, you know, just in case. I don't know, I'm just really cautious like that right now. I don't know why, but here is the blue, your classic blue. The blue is doing what it is supposed to be doing. It is bluing. It is bluing. And this is my Platinum Plazar. And this is a fine nib, and this is in blue, and this is Waterman's. Serenity Blue. Again, this is the ink I usually use to dip test, but if you're wanting to write with a fountain pen and you have to sign in blue, this is the blue that you want to sign with. Okay, it's that perfect classic blue. And we're gonna rate the pen, the ink, and then the comfort level. So the pen is most definitely an 8.5. Again, because it is slick, I feel like I have to hold it a little bit tighter. The ink is a 9 because it is a very reliable blue ink. Okay, so this is the ink you can rely on, that you need to sign documents with, and you're good. I think the only other blue ink that I would do would probably be what's the name of that company? And I can't think right now. The Atramentis blue. Okay, and then of course the comfort level, I'm gonna give an 8.5 again, just because I have to grip it a little bit tighter. Okay, and there we go. So I'm gonna allow this to dry completely because I see where my Pelikan Edelstein has not dried all the way, and then we are going to look. I'm gonna flip this over and we're gonna look to see how well this paper held up to ink. Okay, we'll be right back. So the moment of truth is here. We're going to see how well this Kikuyo paper held up to my ink swatches. So drum roll please. Let's turn her over. Okay, a little ghosting, which I think is normal. Nothing too bad. Okay, even the writing. Love. Okay, so let's look on this side because I did swatch the Serenity Blue on this side. Okay, and I don't think that's fully dry yet, so once it fully dries it'll probably look like the rest, but overall very good. I'm liking this. This is nice. This is nice. So let's look at how this ink shades, or how it shades on the paper. So you can see there is some shading here. You can see the glitter or the sparkle. Y'all know what I mean. You can see some of the shading here. You can definitely see some of the red sheen right there along with the glitter. Okay, definitely look at that. Let's look at Serendipity. Very nice. And then the Serenity Blue. You definitely can see the black and the red sheen there. So now the question is, girl, will you use this again to swatch your inks or journal or whatever? And the answer is absolutely. Yep. This is something that we can definitely get into because this is a paper that I want to continue to test out. Okay, so yes, along with my Sterling Ink A5 ink journal, yes. And I did not put my currently inked in here. I will do that here shortly, but I wanted to test this paper out on camera. So yeah, we're definitely going to be using this again. Okay, so go ahead and make space for Miss Kikuyo, Miss Campus Paper, because you know what? She's going to be part of the lineup now. Yes, that she will. So yes, you guys, that is my currently inked on campus Kikuyo paper. Hopefully go to Barnes & Noble and pick you up a notebook. It's less than $5. Try it out for yourself. Tell me how you like it, and if you've used campus notebooks before, tell me in the comments below, what do you primarily use them for? I can already tell you I love them for swatching. I love them for their 5mm grid because my handwriting is quite large, and this 3.5 grid here in these little notebooks, yeah, it's kind of hard. 5mm is where it's at. Okay, so yes, go ahead, get you a couple, tell me how you like it, and leave it in the comments below. But thank you all for joining me today. I so greatly appreciate you guys, and in the meantime, in between time, you guys be safe, be blessed, and have a wonderful day. Bye.